Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So, when I think about Texas, I think about barbecue, I think about cattle, I think about Americana, I think about freedom. I certainly don't think about gun bans. I took a 5-day trip through Texas where we drove around, tried all the different Texas stuff. We tried the barbecue, we ate at a Whataburger, we went to the stockyards, we visited all the different places around Texas, and I absolutely loved it. As a matter of fact, kind of had a hard time leaving. So hearing a gun ban in Texas kind of throws me off, but that's what we're talking about today, so let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, if you guys support the Second Amendment, you support what we do and channels like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. So with that being said, make sure you hit that alarm bell too. That'll let you know when new videos come out. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. And I got a really important update that I want to share with you that just came out. So about a month or so ago, the Texas State Fair, which apparently hosts millions of people per year, which to me is absolutely astonishing. I mean, that's huge. That's a lot of people going through the gates, has decided that they are going to ban carry within the fairgrounds.
Somebody yelling fire, the classic chestnut of yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. In that situation, you don't have a First Amendment right to do that. And likewise, you don't have a Second Amendment right to bring firearms into any property.
Now, that is obviously a huge problem because you're taking a population that can defend themselves and you're essentially turning them into sheep. The moment that you disarm them, they no longer have the ability to defend themselves and they become reliant on law enforcement and security, which is not always there. Not only do they become defenseless while they are inside the fairgrounds, but they're also defenseless on the way into the fair because you're probably going to have to leave it in the car, you're going to have to walk through what's probably a dark area, and you're going to have to make it into the fairgrounds. The entire time you are going to be defenseless and you got to rely on whatever, security they can provide you. So this obviously is a huge problem. The Attorney General of the state of Texas decided that he was going to sue the city of Dallas, who hosts the fair, in order to get that, proposed rule overturned, right? So this is something that the Attorney General stepped in to stop. Well, we just found out what happened with that lawsuit. Okay, so here's what just recently happened. A Dallas County District Judge has decided to deny Attorney General Ken Paxton's attempts to stop that policy from taking effect.
Today, a Dallas County judge ruled that the state fair firearms ban is now going to stay in place.
The senior management team got together. We decided ultimately that it was in the best interest of the safety of our fairgoers, our vendors, our staff, to prohibit firearms.
As soon as closing arguments concluded, Judge Emily Tablowski didn't even take a moment, ruling almost immediately against the Attorney General's office, denying their request for a temporary injunction to block that firearms ban.
And the fair starts in like 7 days. I believe it starts on September 27th, and then it runs for quite a while. So essentially, that district court judge has upheld the fair's ban on legal carry. That means that now anybody that wants to go to that fair, which again is, from what I've seen in reports, millions of people, are going to have to be disarmed first if they want to go inside. Now, the reasoning for this seems to be the fact that the fair is going to provide adequate security. You're going to have to go through screeners, you're going to have to get wanded, they're going to have certain entry points into the fair, and they say that there's going to be law enforcement and security there that's going to provide adequate safety. But we all know that that just never seems to work out. There's law enforcement on the streets and they're not able to get there in time. They are usually just responding to an incident. They're the second responder. You are the first responder. You're there when things are actually happening. So you're the one that needs to deal with that situation at that very moment. It's not going to be security. You're not going to have a security guard walking with you through the entire fair. So this is obviously going to be a huge problem. Now, people are saying that Attorney General Paxton can appeal this, and people are even, suspecting that he will appeal it to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. And the Fifth Circuit has been pretty friendly to us lately, but the problem that we're having here is that they're saying that it's a private organization that actually runs it, and so they can come up with whatever policy it is that they want. And even though it's going to be on state grounds or on city grounds, They're saying that the adequate security, again, that's their words, that is being provided should allow for them to come up with the policy that they've created, which essentially, again, bans carry by law-abiding people. These are people that have been vetted. These are, good people looking out for their own security. It does absolutely nothing to the bad guy. The guy that wants to go there and do something nefarious, he's going to do that anyway. Maybe he decides he's not even going to go into the fairgrounds. Why? It's such a rich environment right outside the fairgrounds where there might be maybe not as much security. They can do that, because if you want to go in, you're going to have to leave it in your vehicle, which also leads to other problems, because now you got a bunch of vehicles that can be looted or whatever that are out in the parking lot. So this is a huge problem. Now, I've got some friends that live in Texas. As a matter of fact, they're the ones that inspired this video, but they say that they're not going. And to be honest with you, if I lived there, I wouldn't go. I don't want to go anywhere where I'm going to be disarmed. To me, that's just asking for trouble. And especially when you have a place where you have that many people that are packed into a small area, I mean, you're just asking for trouble. So again, this is a really big problem, and this is a problem that seems to be spreading across the country. It doesn't matter if you're in a red state or if you're in a blue state. When you have policies like this that are upheld by judges, and you have, these private organizations that are creating these huge events and then simultaneously disarming you, obviously we have a bigger issue at hand here. But again, it doesn't matter what type of state you're in. It could be a state like Texas, where you think about things like freedom and barbecue and stuff. It could be a state like California. It's happening everywhere, and it needs to be something that's talked about a little bit more. Now, we'll see what happens on appeal. Hopefully, if he's able to get some type of an emergency appeal and stop that from happening, that would be great. But if he can't, then again, that's just one place that I personally would stay away from, and I wanted to let you guys know about that. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day.